Welcome back to this series of videos about visualization. In the current series of tutorials, of video tutorials, I am going to focus on recreating the work of Professor Hans Rosling. If you haven't ever heard of Professor Hans Rosling, he's a professor of global health in Sweden, and he became very, very famous a number of years ago because of the way he visualizes and presents data. His website is Gapminder, that website that you have on the screen right now, gapminder.org. I would encourage you to visit his website and go to the video section, which I have open over here so you can see it, and take a look at some of the video lectures that he has given throughout the years. He's an extremely engaging speaker, very effective communicator. But what he does really well is to integrate data visualization in his talks in a very effective manner. He usually presents data in the form of scatter plots, so graphics that represent the relationship between two quantitative variables. For example, on this YouTube video, this is a TED talk that he gave, I believe, in 2006. He showed on the screen the relationship between the fertility rate in several countries, so number of children per woman in a country, that's the x-axis, and then the y-axis is life expectancy in number of years. And then each one of these dots represents a country, and the size of the bubble is proportional to the size of the population of each one of these countries. If you want to explore all the videos, you can watch them all here. If you want to see the tool that he uses for his presentations, you can also take a look at it. It's in his website. It's called Gapminder World, and it uses a World Bank and United Nations data, which you can visualize in different manners. For example, right now, it is loading the data right now. I don't know exactly what it's going to show, but you can compare any variable available to any other variable on the data set. So right now you have income per person on the x-axis, and then on the y-axis you have life expectancy, and you can change this. You can click on this menu and compare, for example, CO2, or children per woman, for example, children per woman versus life expectancy, which is similar to what he showed in this video that we were taking a look before. And this has a timeline. So this is 2013, but you can go back in time and see how things change throughout the years. You can control certain things like, the size of each one of these bubbles, the proportional sizes of these bubbles. Then you can show certain countries. So this is quite a lot of fun to work. But the question is how to recreate these in a way that we can later use. So how to recreate these graphics, how to redesign these graphics, and then how to export them to be styled later on in Adobe Illustrator. This is what I will be focusing on in the next videos. Now, if you go to my website, thefunctionalart.com, and go to the upper right corner, the tutorials and resources page, you will see that I have added this diagram over here. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it, because this diagram basically summarizes the workflow that I'm going to follow in all these videos, not only in the current video lecture about Gapminder data, but in the general collection of tutorials that I'm putting together in this website. So the way we are going to be working, this is something that I anticipated in the first tutorial, but I decided to create this diagram for the sake of clarity. So what we are going to do in this video and the next videos and the following videos that I will be recording in the next few months is that we are going to generate base graphics using different kinds of tools. We are going to do statistical charts and graphs with iNZight and with Yearn. Yearn is another tool, another free tool that I will discuss in a future tutorial. So we are going to generate base charts and data graphics using these two tools. We are going to generate maps. We're going to create maps using Quantum GIS. If you want to get started with that, by the way, just scroll down over here, and there is a tutorial about Quantum GIS down here. It's an excellent tutorial if you want to learn that tool right away. And then we will create pictorial illustrations. We will learn how to draw pictorial illustrations with Adobe Illustrator. So we will learn how to draw, for example, animals and people and icons and pictograms. So the base graphics will be done using any of these tools, and then you will see that the flowchart basically shows you that everything is gathered into Adobe Illustrator, because we will learn how to use Adobe Illustrator to style all the charts and maps that we create with all these tools, to style them further, and then to create compositions of different amount, different charts and maps, etc. How to put them together into meaningful storytelling pieces. And then I am also going to teach you in a future tutorial how to export an Adobe Illustrator file and transform it into an HTML file that you can upload to your website, and how to make it responsive, so the graphic that you create with Adobe Illustrator will resize according to the size of the screen that the reader is using. If you want to learn how to use this tool, AI to HTML, right away, I linked to some external tutorials down here. If you scroll down, you will see that there is a video that says transforming Adobe Illustrator files into HTML with AI to HTML. If you click on that link, it will take you to the AI to HTML website. This is a tool that was done by the graphics team at the New York Times. And then if you want to learn how to use it right away, I have linked to 3 video tutorials over here. But in the current video tutorial, I'm going to be focusing only on iNZight. So how to design charts that resemble Gapminder charts using iNZight. Now, in the first tutorial of the series, first tutorial over here, the one that says visualization with iNZight, I showed you how to install iNZight in your computer. Just search for iNZight with a Z, okay, like in New Zealand, iNZight. Google that and find iNZight's website. I'm going to do that right away here. So iNZight, if you search iNZight with a Z, the first result will be iNZight's website, iNZight for data analysis. So just go here, follow the instructions to install the software in your computer, and then I will ask you also to download the data, because this will happen, by the way, in the latest versions of iNZight. If you install the software will come with a series of data sets that you can use, and one of them is Gapminder data. Actually, one of the animated GIF over here shows Gapminder data at some point. But if you don't find the data that we are going to use in the following videos, you can go to the iNZight's website, go to the Get iNZight menu on the upper on the middle of the screen, Get iNZight. Then go here, click on data, and you can download all data sets from here. So you click on these, get the latest version of the data folder here. That will download a folder with all the data sets that we are going to be using in the following videos. Once you have done that, we are ready to get started.